Right, talk of the impeachment hearings still flooding all of our news feeds this morning. It's just about impossible for any of us to watch all of it. So here's a look at what you may have missed. Democrats are laying out their case, saying that President Trump abused his power by pressuring the Ukraine for his own political gain. And Republicans are doing quite the opposite.
What we will witness today is a televised theatrical performance.
Yeah, the first public testimony came from two top diplomats, William Taylor, U.S. ambassador to the Ukraine, testifying that President Trump froze critical military aid to the Ukraine, hoping to force a public announcement that the country was investigating his rivals, including the Bidens.
To withhold that assistance for no good reason other than help with a political campaign made no sense. It could not be explained. It was crazy.
Republicans are saying that Ukraine's President Zelensky didn't know military aid was being held up during that call and that the military aid was eventually released. Now, although the president said he didn't watch the so-called hoax witch hunt, he was definitely tweeting about it and retweeting a lot of videos from the public hearings. He tweeted this just a few hours ago, saying it is a time of shame for our entire country. The Democrats know what they're doing is wrong. And even Minnesota Senator and presidential candidate Amy Klobuchar tweeting this. Remember James Madison's words from the Constitutional Convention. We have impeachment to protect our country in the event a president betrays his trust to foreign powers. That is what impeachment proceedings are for, protecting our democracy. And some of our sunrisers are even weighing in this morning. Hunter Bowman here thinking the Democrats are throwing a Hail Mary because they have no ideas for their campaign and their candidates are not very appealing. That's Hunter's opinion. And Douglas here saying this to us, facts before rage and opinion. He goes on to say, time to see what the truth is and not the spin. Now, testimony continues tomorrow with Marie Yovanovitch, who's an ousted Ukraine ambassador to the U.S. There will also be 3 more hearings that are set for next week. And of course, as we mentioned, you can't see all of it. So we do have more details about this story posted right now at KARE11.com.
Yeah, one of the revelations yesterday also is one of Taylor's staffers overhearing a phone call after the Ukraine phone call. So a lot of people curious to know what comes out of that. Of course, that is a closed testimony, though. So we'll see. All right. Thanks, Alicia.